Hello, young disciples. I have a special message for you this morning, and I wanted to share a plant that I've been growing, and it's out on the front porch of my house, so I thought that this would be a good place for me to do the message this week. I want to show you this plant that I've been growing. It's a parsley plant, and I think you can see it. They're pretty little, aren't they? There's only two of them that you can see growing right there in the dirt. And you might, if you look really close, you might be able to see one here that there's just a little bit of green growing up out of the dirt. Well, I want to tell you about this. When I first bought these plants, I had 4 of them. I had 4 parsley plants, and they were pretty good sized. And I planted them in the dirt in this container, and I put them beside my porch and watered them really well. And wouldn't you know, the next morning when I woke up and went out to water my plants again, I discovered that there were no parsley plants left. I think some bunnies came up here and chewed the parsley plants way down to the dirt. And I was pretty disappointed because I like to use parsley when I'm cooking, and I thought it'd be great to have fresh parsley right outside on my porch. Well, I waited a few days, and I didn't really pay too much attention to that empty container. And then one day I came out and was going to pick it up and put it in the garage, and I discovered that I had these new baby parsley plants growing. The bunnies only chewed the leaves and the stem down to the dirt, and they did not get the roots of the plant. Now, if you've never seen roots of a plant before, I pulled up a weed this morning. I didn't want to pull up my parsley because it is living now, but I pulled up this weed this morning, and you can see the roots here. And this is the part that goes underneath the ground, and that's how this weed gets its nourishment. It gets the food that it needs and the water that it needs from the dirt that it's living in. Here's another one. This is one I pulled the other day, and you can see that this one is dead because it wasn't in the dirt anymore. It couldn't live anymore because it couldn't get what it needed from the soil. And that's the same thing that happened with these parsley plants. They could start growing again because the bunnies didn't get the roots. They just chewed down to the dirt, and they didn't get the roots. And I think they're going to keep living as long as the bunnies don't get them. And I kind of like bunnies, so I guess I don't really care if they do eat the parsley plant. But anyway, I thought about all of this when I was thinking about the message that Pastor Gail is going to give for church on Sunday morning. She's going to talk about a story in the Bible about one of Jesus' followers, Paul. And Paul wrote a letter to the people of Colossians, and he said to the people in that church, he said, I want you to stay rooted in your faith. I want you to stay rooted in your faith. Now, I think what Paul was saying to them was, I really want for you to stay close to the people that helped you first learn about Jesus and all of the things that he did while he lived on earth. And I think he was saying that he wants for us to do that too. He wants us to stay rooted in our faith. And for us, I think that that means that we need to be around other people that know about Jesus and are followers of Jesus. We need to pray to stay in touch with God. And I think that we also need to stay in touch with each other. And we can't do that in person right now, possibly. We might have to do it over a YouTube video. But stick close to those people that have taught you about Jesus. And that includes your families, of course, too. And I think we also can stay rooted in our faith by learning the stories of the Bible, learning the stories of Jesus. So let's have a prayer. Dear God, thank you for Jesus. Help us find ways to stay rooted in our faith so that we can continue to grow as Christians. Amen. See you next week.